I'm making too much work for myself. I should just repeat the melody that I have at the first half of the bridge.
Let's go once more. I think we're doing good, though.
Cool.
I think
Once more into the breach.
Once more into the breach, and then here we go.
Ready?
1 second. Oh, God. This is going to sound like an early Shania track.
Well, I mean, it was also kind of built that way.
Cool. This is such a fun lead. I missed my cue. Anything you have to say about this session as of right now?
It's going great.
It's going great! Hi, welcome to my dining room. We are talking about the Sunspots EP, and I have two of the most lovely people that worked with me on this project, as well as their partners who helped support them throughout this entire process. Please get up for Ashley Lamb, the artist behind all the Sunspots EP. We can applaud that, like, you know what I mean?
Film before a live studio audience.
Film before a live couch audience. And then also, obviously, to my right, your left, it is DJ Basco, aka Camping, the producer of this entire project. Give it up! Yeah! Okay, guys. Wow. Oh, yeah, good job. Yeah, you should congratulate yourself. Yeah, so this entire project has been something that I've been wanting to do, that I've like written back for like 2 years now at this point, and like when we're filming this. But I know why I wanted to do the project, but could you guys tell me why you decided you wanted to do the project?
When Maddie had approached me and gave me the pitch, I knew it was something I had to be a part of because the messaging and like the processing of her relationship with her mom was something that really spoke to me, because as someone who also has sometimes a tenuous relationship with my mom, it was a cathartic way for me to also express myself also through Maddie in the shared experience that we had of trauma.
Oh, we love to see it. Trauma bonding, baby. Tragic.
Same for me. Maddie approached me for the project, and I was just like, hey, game recognizes game. You know I'm good, I know you're good. Yeah, I mean, throughout this process, I've been going through my own familial situations. The whole album originally was supposed to be called Maternity Leave, and it's about the strained relationship you have with your mother. Mm-hmm. Just so fitting that it's my mom's birthday tonight when the EP comes out. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So the theme of trauma bonding maternal figures continues on.
I know, obviously, like, I'm talking to both of you this evening because it's like important to highlight both of you and the work that you did for this project, but I do just want to give a special shout out to your partners for supporting you throughout this entire project. From y'all's experiences is like within like just your regular lives, like what was it like going through this project as like what you guys are talking about with a lot of these heavier things that you're having to like work through, and being able to just cope in your regular life as you're creating this thing?
It was hard. It was hard. Obviously, we're making beautiful art and beautiful music. At the same time, you know, I'm working for hours on these tracks, just getting wrecked emotionally. Like, oh, I really resonate with that. And for me, that just gave me the extra push to want to polish it up as much as I did, and to put as much love into it as possible, and handle it with care, because it was a message that I also just wholeheartedly believe in. You know?
Yeah.
Did you make any artistic moves on the last one?
No.
Okay.
At least not until the second chorus.
Okay.
I think the whole thing is that for some reason, I felt myself do it this past go around where I was like, why did you go flat all of a sudden?
No, you caught yourself. I heard it and I was like, ooh, and then you like somersaulted into something, which I thought was cool. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I feel like this is going smoothly because I set myself up for success. Where I was like, I know what I want to do vocally. It's easy.
Yeah.
So now I think it would just be like muscle memory for like the guitar. Where
And
it's
it's
like,
your song.
And I should
You know what I
know.
mean? So it's not like, okay, I think you should do this here.
Right.
Sing this. So perfect. Then that's why I was like, okay, where do you want to go now?
No, I think that like kind of the thing that whenever we had talked about the tracks that would be at least the easiest production wise, because like they're pretty straightforward. We know which three those are.
started with this track, and I gravitated towards it because it was just so energetic. It was just so energetic and fun, and immediately when I heard it, I knew what I wanted to do with it. Maddie was across the country on an airplane, and we had no contact, and one day I was just like, oh no, I just felt it. I felt like a little tickle in my soul, you know? I was like, I think it's time.
A lot of what this song kind of tackles is just trying to break down all of these kind of obsessions that happen with material things from people that think that gifts are the only substitution for like unconditional love. Like love that comes from material things somehow feels very conditional to me. Stuff doesn't have feelings. I have a lot of feelings. So you can't quite replace one for the other for me. What makes a camping produced track a camping produced track?
It's gotta be tight in all aspects. It's gotta be clean. I usually start with drums and I make sure those are tight, and I make sure the transitions from the different parts of the song, there's always a big da-ga-da-ga-da. Some sort of like to tell it, and I don't mean to dumb it down for the listener, but the listener needs to know when the next part is coming, and I feel like that's where the drums load in to let you know, like, oh fuck, we're revving up now to this part.
The way that it shifts in the bridge from me saying I'm angry about all these things to then revealing underneath like, hey, I'm really hurting. I think it kind of like plays into the rest of the theme of the project of me trying to get to the truth of what I'm really feeling.
Don't want a life defined by designer bags and jeans. I only wanted to know you'd always be there for me, just like you said you'd be.
I thought this was a ballad. This is not a ballad.
And for you, I know that like you didn't have to like, you listened to the demos initially.
Yes.
And that was really the only first exposure that you had with it. Obviously, I sent you like updates as they were coming because I was like, you deserve to hear this and maybe it'll draw some more inspiration. But like, each of the sketches that you sent me, even like the line art, I was like, you obviously followed notes that like you were asking me for like direction, but there was a lot of things that I didn't need to direct you on when it came to the emotional side of the pieces that you made. Mm-hmm. Like, was that because you were just kind of working through stuff yourself, or was that like, because visual art's such an enigma to me. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it is to make like art like that.
Right.
So like, what was that process like for you?
I do have a little bit of synesthesia wherein I hear words or music and I spit out images instead. So I would listen to your music along with the direction that you gave me, and then like a story would come up in my head. Like if I wanted to, I could storyboard a scene based just off your music, and I tried to distill that into a still image that represented what you wanted and also was my own interpretation from my own experiences and the feelings I got from that synesthesia, which is why there was a lot of blues and a lot of warmth to it, because I know you wanted Polaroids, which do tend to skew a little cold. But what I loved about your music is that there was a nostalgia behind it, because this is about your past and your current, even as recent as like your wedding last year. And so for me, that's a very warm, fuzzy kind of feeling, which is why I'm just like, Maddie, pick the warm colored ones, please.
Yeah, no, I could tell like with the ones that I like were just kind of like, oh, I really like this one, and I could imagine like whenever you were saying like, oh yeah, when they're colored in. Now that you said that, like pick the warm color ones, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 I pick the warmer.
Thank you.
This is the one that you want to pick, which is excellent. Thank you for doing that, because I'm an indecisive person when it comes to that. I just think that everything looks real good that you make. She works for Disney and doesn't get paid nearly enough for what she does, so you should recognize the Animation Production Union. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please and thank you. Yeah, no, hey, you know what? Fuck Netflix. No, just kidding.
Led a life without a leading hand. Ooh.
Let's just get this out of the way first.
Yeah.
Want better. What a time that was. Oh my god, what a time that was vocally for me. Like, me and Camping agreed that it added character to my voice. Like, there was a lot more texture in it because I was phlegmy. But there was like some significant limitations that I had with like how long I could last in a session. My breath control significantly went down. Even right now, like, I'm still not completely out of the woods, and it's very frustrating.
So Madima had sent me the tracks that she wanted this song to sound like, and I listened to them for a week or so. I got so inspired that I made the song completely different. I wanted this track to feel different sonically than all the other ones. You know, the Sunspots EP starts with high energy with Name the Price, and then we kind of stay high energy with Sunspots, the titular track. And then we kind of get low energy for the last two tracks. I wanted this one, since it kind of sits right in the middle, to be kind of a middle ground between straight acoustic and something that still has a nice driving rhythm and feel to it.
Hey little lady, I hope it was worth it.
Saying like the music is from the perspective of the person leaving.
Yeah.
And then the words from the perspective
I
of the
can
person
see
who's
so
left.
clearly. He was a choice you wanted all alone. Said better
Yeah.
than what you got. No red letters for us. You sold back the life you bought. Right now it's killing my sinuses, killing my voice. But it works for the song, which is good. I think it'll still turn out well. Yeah, because DJ is always able to like craft some magic, but I need to get better about taking care of my instrument, which is me. Haven't really thought about that until this project, really. I need to be drinking more water. I need to be sleeping more. I need to do vocal warm-ups. Be more consistent about that. And I need to talk less. We'll see if that'll ever happen. If I need to preserve my voice, it's gonna have to happen.
Not a fault, 'cause I can see so clearly he was a choice you wanted all along. 'Cause you wanted better than what you got. No red letters for us. Sold back the life you bought. You're better off without us. Can't forget a girl who got more than she than you lost. Tell me, darling, what's the cost? What the
Was there any point for you guys where you were just kind of like, this is becoming a chore? Like, it's like, or was it just fun, like doing it? What was your experience as you were making the art?
No, for me it was always fun because you gave me a reason to actually do art that I loved, which is great. I think the most hard part was just making sure that I was honoring your art with mine, because the parts that got me scared when I was doing all the sketches, like all the options that you could choose from, was I'm essentially drawing a mirror for you to make sure that what you see in my drawings is what you want to see for you, for your mom, for your relationship, for this message that you're putting in. So that was like the scary part of trying to come up with like 4 options to be like, I hope I'm interpreting you right and I am a good mirror.
Could you imagine if I was actually like an asshole about it, where I'm just gonna like, this isn't my vision? What? No!
I would say, no, most of the time it was mostly inspired, it was an inspired labor of love that came from a place of love and care. I would say definitely towards the end where it was like, oh, we gotta, deadlines, we gotta get this out.
It truly doesn't help that throughout the process of us making the EP, we were also performing at several different places, from like Greenway Court Theater for LA Get Down to the Hotel Cafe to the Mint. Like even right before the release came up, you had to skip out on a gig, a second gig at the Mint, because you were having to finish the project.
Yes.
And that's the part that's so crazy, is that like I think that a lot of people, what the industry, at least for musicians, has become, and you can tell me if this is the case for like visual artists as well, you have to constantly be in the zeitgeist of like what's going on, and you have to be constantly pushing stuff out to the point where like in order for the EP to get as much recognition and as much following as it has, we had to perform. Like, I'm really grateful that we have people in our band that were able to play with us so that you could figure out specifically like the instrumentation for the tracks that we were trying to do, because they weren't even done yet.
Nope.
That's so crazy.
And I will say to this point though, as much as we have had a back and forth artistic, collaborative effort, what did not make it feel like a chore is that you trusted me with a lot of the decisions that I was making, and I think it turned out great. I think it turned out really good.
Hi. What are you doing?
I am trying.
Just trying my best.
We're trying our best here, man. we're making MaJiK happen.
Yes. And what are you doing over here?
I'm doing makeup today. I'm going to be doing Madima makeup.
Oh my god.
Eminem.
Eminem.
Now put your phone away.
Joke.
Ready?
Yes. Whoa! Look at. Oh my god. I am a beautiful bird.
Do you like me?
I love it so. Charlotte. I look like a little hummingbird baby.
Yep.
This is what a successful post photo shoot looks like. Hey man, who dang?
Who dizzle?
I hate it. I do hate it though. Please know, if I didn't have to do this myself, I wouldn't, because this is very strange.
We have a team next.
Hey, how's it going? This is Maddie's TikTok.
I hate it. No, it will never be on TikTok.
She was supposed to clean this up.
I know I am.
Now it's gonna get even messier.
All right, here we go.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
listen to this.
Oh, I'm too excited.
Blood in my brain. Tried my hardest with a subtle knife to laser them away. They still itch and scratch and show me past that. Never stay the same. It's hard to sing and also listen to it at the same time, because I just want to listen to it.
Right. But you can just hum, because I need to make sure that the song structure is good.
They show it.
My voice is typically very high.
I think the recipe will be good for everything.
Oh, it'll be very good on this track, but not for the rest of the project. It's gonna be rough. I gotta rest.
If I forget all these regrets at the
Oh!
Wait for it.
I guess.
Are those bells?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a piano behind there too.
I like it.
Just very, very light. Sing this part though. Sing this part
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
But I can't. I can't.
Oh my god, okay.
I wash my hands of you. I'll never be clean.
Keep an open mind. It gets a little poppy here.
Oh! Okay.
I didn't know how you were like that yet. When we're talking talking about circles earlier, Madima and I, and that's when she originally showed me this song before I was ever signed on to do the song, to do any of this, before she even thought, like, hey, we should work together. And I thought, and Madima would disagree at the time. And I was like, wow, this is like a true like blue Kelly Clarkson song. This is Since You've Been Gone. And Madima was like, I don't hear that at all. You're crazy. What? No. Little did she know I would be in charge. And I made it a Kelly Clarkson song.
It's also kind of just a song about drawing boundaries. Like when you realize that somebody is only hurting you by interacting with them, then you have to realize of just like all the things that they have done, all the things that they could still be doing. Is if it's hurting you, then you don't have to ignore that. You can go ahead and make that a justification to create a boundary with that person.
When Boi Xochi was in here earlier, the first thing that they said when the track played originally and they were just hanging out in the room was, wow, you're getting kind of Postal Servicey there. First of all, obviously, but I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the whole Postal Service aspect of it. And now that Boi Xochi has said that, I was like, wait a second. What if Kelly Clarkson and the Postal Service got together and made a song? It would be Sunspots.
In this track, the I think that's
it.
It's happening while you're on a melody, so it's not like standing alone.
Got it.
Like a riff, like you know, like a riff that starts a song or something. It's actually while you're singing, so it kind of boosts it in a way, because then
that's cool.
Because it also generates interest too, because you might have heard the chorus already, and then you add that counter melody.
I wash my hands of you, but I'll never be clean. I wash my hands of you, but I'll never be clean. 'Cause your state should be seen.
Love the journey that the EP takes us on, because I didn't even realize what I had made. It almost felt like it was the process of grieving, where it's that like there's a lot of hard, harsh, loud feelings at the top of the project, and then as we get through the end, it doesn't really end on a bang, but it ends on something that it's like very melancholic, very in the realm of like, I just have to accept the way things are. They're just the way things are. And like, I know that I have my favorite track on the EP, but like, what's y'all's favorite tracks? Track or tracks, I guess.
I mean, it's gotta be Name the Price. Just
Yeah!
because you start off so hardcore, I'm like, holy shit. No, it's gotta be that one for me.
Yeah. And then for you?
My favorite track, and I famously said at the get-go of all this that it was my least favorite track, which was Want Better.
Yeah!
And I was just like, man, I just, I don't feel like this track really fits in.
Yeah.
With the rest of it, it just kind of feels like a filler track. I'm like, yeah, I just threw that one in there, no big deal.
Right.
And then as it came together, I was just like, looking back at everything now, to me, it's my favorite track production-wise. Just because it's kind of intuitive, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's hard to explain why, but everything, all the instruments on that track really came together nicely and sonically for me. Yeah. Where I was like, this is my favorite one, and then it would probably be Hummingbird, and then Name the Price.
I feel that. For me, like, I really do. You said it whenever we were making it. Like, Sunspots is one of my favorite tracks on the project because of the dynamics that the song has. I love being able to play with that live as well whenever we perform it, because there's like a soft little start at the beginning, and then we get into the bridge we get into the chorus where we start to get like a little bit like Postal Servicey, and we're like starting to get a little like get the audience like hyped up, and then we like hit and we just keep going, and that's like it's the track that's got the most changes, and it's so cool. Our drummer agrees.
Hi, KP.
Hi, KP. Thank you for filming. And then second favorite is actually It Takes Time for me. That's a very, DJ can attest to this. I cried in the booth a little bit whenever we were recording that one. It hits really hard because I think that every track on the project does this, but that one in particular is the first song that I wrote whenever I started writing this project. And I think it's truly just the addition of like Magnum on the piano, like really laying into the sadness of the track, and then Paul that we have like on the cello, like pulling these long, sorrowful sort of drones throughout the entire track, and notes that we got from KP, like as our drummer, of just like how should the drums sound in certain ways. Like emotionally it's my favorite, but then also the collaborativeness of it is like why it's my favorite one, and I think we're a band in that one,
Yeah.
and it's very clear that it is because it's like it feels so natural. It just feels like, not like the rest of the EP isn't natural by any means, but there's something, that track to me has a lot of life that's behind it.
If you could see me, would you believe me when I say I'm happy you're here? Would you say, darling, I never miss this, even though we haven't spoken in years? It takes time. It takes time. Forgive my impatience, 'cause I see life passing us by. When will we be alright?
We added session musicians onto this one because we had played a lot of live shows together as a band, and they added a lot. With Paul, with his freaking amazing cello, and just kind of figuring out and writing in those cello harmonies, because we didn't have cello harmonies in the live set. It was just one cello, but it was cool to be able to play with that a little bit and see where we could stretch that. It's not like there isn't piano on other songs of the project that I have done. But I am not a piano player in the same way that Magnum is. So when we all got together and played, I wouldn't know specifically the technicality of it. I'll just say that the energy of it was magical.
You have to treat yourself like you are an instrument to this project. You got to take better care of yourself. And then that transferred into whenever it was like going into these sessions and singing about a subject that like is really heavy on my heart, of taking care of myself while we're going through the process of like crafting these songs. The only time that I broke was when we were recording today for It Takes Time, where it's a really, really sad song. And I'm fine. I was telling DJ, like, I was fine whenever we weren't doing a take. It was only when I started singing and I actually was feeling what I was saying, and then I think the thing that got me was like, oh, let's try picturing singing this to my mom and see if that brings anything different to the session, and that's when I started to cry.
camping here with a little addendum to the behind the song. I just want to say that that's my cat. I just want to say, hello. I just want to say that this song has like really like made me progress and level up in terms of my fluency with Logic. This song has really pushed me to have to learn how to get into the nitty-gritty of certain features that I wouldn't have even tried to figure out for myself. Yeah, Sunspots as a whole has really made me grow. So thanks, Mandy. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I think that nobody ever really does anything alone whenever it comes to art like this and like what we were able to do. I think that through this process, I really learned that like, yeah, I have some good merits as an artist, like that's great, but can you imagine what you can do when you have other people with you that are creating,
that are good at their thing,
and so good at it, like that you get to one, you get to worry about less, but then two, the way that I've always seen collaboration is that like if you can think about the impossible, imagine what happens whenever you have somebody else on that journey with you and how further the horizon gets pushed because of like how much you can explore with more than one brain in the room. And I think that as long as people are like open to that and communicative with that, so many great things happen. Like I really don't think that this project would have been what it was had you guys not worked on it with me. So thank you so much. Here's the thing, I talked to DJ about it already. There's more stuff that's coming, guys, between live shows and between future projects. So you can look forward to more conversations with these folks and maybe some like more folks. Maybe this table is like really big the next time that we have it. But thanks for listening, and thank you to everybody who's been just chilling out in the back. I love you. Thank you.
Let's play the EP.
Let's play the EP. Bye.
I never lost your number. All I did was screen your calls, 'cause to navigate your arguments would take all summer long. And I might be the bad guy, 'cause I quit making this right, but self-sabotage sounds better than another fucking fight. If I